Quick shout out to my patrons. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey y'all, it's Kay from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're doing my March wrap-up. Wow, what was that? Today we're doing my March wrap-up and my April TBR of sorts. So March, I spent a lot of time with John and didn't get as much reading done, though I think we're going to change things up a little bit, so I'll get a little bit more reading done in the future. But I did finish 5 books and 2 essays this month, and hopefully by the time you see this, I have finished at least 1 or 2 others. I'm hoping to maybe get to 3 finished by the time this goes up on April 1st. April 1st. No joke. So what did I finish in March? I finished The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed a lot of it, but it felt like there were parts that could have been split up into other books, and I had a hard time connecting to the characters. I finished The Insider, which was episode 1 in my new series, Books My Boyfriend Gave Me. This was an awesome book, really. Even though it was the last book in the series and I hadn't read the series before and it was middle grade, it was so much fun. It was about these group of teenagers are charged with essentially keeping Disney, the parks, safe and the magic safe via holograms at night after the parks close. And it was just so much fun to read, and I can't wait to read the rest of the books. Finished The Winter of the Witch, which is book 3 in the Winter Night trilogy, and I just had a review for this posted this week, so I will link that in the description below. I absolutely love this book so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. I finished The Magician's Nephew, also 5 out of 5 stars. This is chronologically book 1 in the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. Finished The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This was a super fun book. Very different than anything I have ever read before. You have these daughters, essentially, of these famous monsters. Jekyll and Hyde and Frankenstein and Moreau. And there's another one that I'm forgetting now. But all of these women essentially come together and solve a mystery. And then there's a whole series now about it. And I can't wait to read the rest of the books. It was so much fun. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. It was a stellar month for the 5-star strumpet. Now, that's only 4 books, so I'm missing a book that I finished, and I can't remember what book it was. Maybe it was Red Rising. Did I finish that this month? I don't remember when I finished that, but I think I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. So the 2 essays that I finished were our Joan Didion essays for the month, California Dreaming and Marrying Absurd. And these essays kind of felt like, okay, there's nothing wrong with them per se, but they weren't as exciting as some of the others. So enough of what happened in March. Now let's talk about April. So I've adjusted my April TBR to kind of reflect reality a little bit more and how I am progressing or not progressing through these TBRs. So I've separated it into books that I need to catch up on from previous months and books that I probably will be catching up on in the future. So for books to catch up on, we've got Anathem, which I am close to finishing now. I might be finishing that by the end of this coming week. I'm about 65-66% of the way through that book. Waking Ursa Minor, I really need to make progress on that so I can move on, but I'm enjoying that book so much. First Writer's Call, I am close to finishing this also. I think I will have this one finished by the end of today, definitely by the end of this week. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe audiobook, I'm definitely going to have that finished by the end of it today. I only have a couple chapters left on that. And Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas, which was my February patron pick of the month, picked by Tara at FaceRed84. I just started that last night, but it's a short book, so I hope to have that finished soon too. And then all the rest of the books that I need to catch up on include 2 books from Overly Average Ben's book club, which is Each of Us a Desert, and Trail of Lightning. I need to catch up on my Sword of Truth reading, so Stone of Tears, Dracula, which was supposed to be my bibliotherapy pick for February, Sunreach, which is in my Skyward read-along on our Discord. I am way behind on that because we have another book coming up in April and I haven't even read February's book yet. Blood Curse, which was supposed to be my second self-pub book in February, which I haven't started yet. As you can tell, there's a theme going on here. The Passengers, which was my March patron pick of the month, picked by Patrick. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was supposed to be my March bibliotherapy book. Read On, which is the second novella in the Skyward series for that read-along. So far behind. The Last Man, which was another Mary Shelley read. Valperga was the February Mary Shelley read. The Last Man was the March Mary Shelley read that I had set. Seventh Cadence, which was my March self-pub pick. And High King's Tomb, which is the third book in the Green Rider series. Now, if somehow I have an absolutely amazing reading month in April and get through all of those catch-up books, the books that I have listed as books I'll probably catch up on in the future include The Space Between Worlds, which is my patron pick of the month for April, so I can't wait to get to that. The Restaurant at the End of the World, which is book 2 in the Hitchhiker's Guide series. Whew, this is a lot of books. This is insane. Why did I do this to myself? Game of Kings, which was supposed to be a buddy read with Overly Average Ben and Ponderings of Pete. Cytonic, which is technically book 3 in the Skyward series and part of my Skyward read-along, which was why we created this whole read-along to begin with, because this just came out in, I think, February. Thunderhead, which is book 2 in the Scythe series. I don't know what the name of that series is actually called. The Fortunes of Perk and Warbeck, which is the April Mary Shelley pick. Jasmine Perez and the Wicked Sorceress, which is my April self-pub book. Ninth Reign, which is book 1 in that series that's also being a read-along on my Discord. The Little Prince, which was supposed to be April's bibliotherapy book. Ink and Bone number 2, I forget the name of that book, but that's a buddy read with Sharon as Sharon Dwyer. We read book 1 back in February, I think it was, and we're supposed to read book 2 in April. The Book of Cold Cases, which I will definitely get to in April, because this is a new book club that Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative has started, where we read a new release thriller every month and talk about it and drink wine and thrillers, and I can't wait to read this. Whatever pick happens to win on Overly Average Ben's book club on his Discord, I think right now it's between, I forget, I Am Legend and I forget what other book. And last but not least, I told you this is going to be a whirlwind. Last but not least is our Joan Didion essay of the month, which is the title essay of this short story, this essay collection that we're reading from right now, Slouching Towards Bethlehem, which is a longer one. Might split that over several days instead of reading it all at once. But y'all, now I need to have a drink after thinking about all of that and take a deep breath. That's my March wrap up, my April, May, June, July probably TBR. We should just start doing like seasonal TBRs instead, but that would be endless because I have no self-control and I can't help myself. I just want to read everything. Let me know in the comments below what was your favorite read in March, what you're looking forward to reading most in April. You know what, y'all? Who knows? April is my birthday month, and I might just throw this whole thing out the window and just read whatever the heck I want to read. We'll see what happens in April. It's a brand new month. Who knows? If any of these sounded good to you and you want to join in, come to my Discord to let me know what you want to join into. Some we already have channels set up for. Others I can set up other channels to talk about it with as we get through all of these books. Keep reading, because that's what we do as book nerds, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.